Hello, everybody. This is JW Nigerian with On Purpose Magazine, and we're here at Steve Farber's Extreme Leadership Summit in actually in San Diego, beautiful La Jolla area. Area. Yeah, area. We can do that. We'll mess up one word or two.
The area code.
The area code. And we're here today with the incredible Liz Strauss. Liz, how you doing today?
I'm fabulous, and I love being here with you.
Well, thank you so much. You know, I have a Liz moment, and a lot of your friends will know what that means. But I have a really great story with you because I saw you on Twitter, and I started joking with you on Twitter, and you have a great dry sense of humor, which I love, and you know, a little naughty sometimes. And so I had a really good time with you, only to realize later, this Liz Strauss, she's all over the damn net, and she's got some huge numbers, and who the heck is she? So I asked you if I could call you. I called you. We spoke a little bit, and I found out that you're big in social media. And I said, hey, would you do an interview with me? I have this little magazine. I'd love to do an interview with you, not knowing who the heck you were. But you were so good at social media, I wanted to know what you knew. Only to find out that now you're the Forbes magazine and Huffington Post 10 most influential women in the nation. That's how the web works. I mean, you fall on people like that all the time, and it's been wonderful because we've got to build a relationship together, and a wonderful relationship, and so I thank you so much for that. And that leads into, well, who is Liz Strauss, right?
Who is Liz Strauss? I'm just a saloon keeper's daughter who's built my own saloon online. Exactly.
You are huge in social media, and I say that, not that you're big in social media, but one of the things you don't do is you don't build just lists. You show people how to build community relationships and how to apply those to business and and success.
Well, yeah, it's really important, and it's not as hard as people try to make it. I think sometimes people try and make it mysterious and difficult, and really it's all about making it about the people you're trying to serve. I have a saying that, when you make the universe revolve around you, the world flies out of balance.
Yeah. We talked a lot about this at one time because I was trying to get my head wrapped around the difference between making a list and actually relating to that list. What's something you would tell people? What's the biggest problem that you see people doing when they're getting on social media and trying to build something?
Oftentimes it's trying too hard to be interesting and not being interested.
Ooh, yeah, that's great.
The more you start listening and paying attention to what other people say. For example, everybody's worried about getting their 30-second pitch together. So they'll walk up to somebody and say, how can I help you? And that moves the argument to a place where I have to figure out who you are, what you can do, where you fit into my life. The burden for all the thinking falls on me.
Right.
Whereas if you started out with, what are your goals for the next 2 quarters? And I start talking about my goals and saying, I see this and I see this, and you start informing that. As we get further down the line, you can eventually say, well, would it look like that? And I would go, well, yeah, sort of like that, but a little more like this. When you get to the place where we both see the same thing, instead of a 30-second pitch, you can say, well, that's what I do.
Right.
And this is how I could help you.
Right. Well, the big thing about that is that we have, and Sally Hogshead talked about this, and that we have the attention span of about 9 seconds. It used to be a minute 30 for the Google generation, and a minute 20. It's going down now to about like 9 seconds now. We have the attention span supposedly of a goldfish. So how do you get that? How do you get authentic in front of a person, or can you?
Paying attention to someone is probably the most important and honorable thing you can do. I did a thing 2 years ago where I set up phone calls every day with anyone who wanted to have an interview. And what I found about a week into it, and I did 400 of them, was that people were just so grateful that somebody listened to them when they talked. That we have a real hunger for people who listen to us. And so You know, to walk into a conversation, even with someone you don't know, and actually listen to what they're saying is highly impactful.
Wow. No, it is. And this is one of the reasons I do what I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy talking, first of all. But I really enjoy, because I do celebrity interviews a lot of times.
Right.
And I talk to them about their cause and their foundation, something that goes on the cutting room floor and they never get to talk about. So to see them light up when I ask, instead of who you're sleeping with and what you're wearing and what your next project, about their foundation, which they usually love and put a lot of time into, they light up and they really want to talk about it. And that makes them happy. It makes me happy.
And they remember you.
Oh yes, absolutely.
He's the guy who actually cared.
Yeah, when I'm in situations where they see me again, they always come up to pat me on the back. Hey, I didn't even know they noticed me.
Exactly. It's a powerful thing. Pay attention. Spending your time with someone about them is way more powerful.
Wow, that's great. So you're at this conference. You're going to be speaking at the conference, Steve Farber's Extreme Leadership Summit. Steve speaks at your event. You do SobCon in Chicago every year, and that's where we bring people like Procter & Gamble together with people like Guy Kawasaki and Chris Brogan, these top bloggers that know how to build community together with businesses that know how to market. And I'm getting this any this right?
You're getting some of it right. Yeah, we all sit around and talk about strategy. I mean, there seems to be a void in the business community, including at business schools, where there aren't people talking about this and working together on what kinds of strategy actually works online, in integrating a business online and off, although they're trying to build best practices around it. So we actually build a high trust environment where we can actually tackle those ideas and not just have them be marketing, but have them be highly strategic across the business. Brian Moran, who was most recently with the Wall Street Journal, called it the ultimate stress test for your strategy.
That's great. Well, because you keep it very intimate, you limit the amount of people that can come in the room, and you keep the quality of people extremely high.
Well, if you build a certain kind of event, it attracts a certain kind of people, and the people who don't want to do that don't come. So you don't have to make it exclusive. It becomes self-sorting.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a room in which people are expected to work, and the expectation of working together, it doesn't attract certain kinds of people.
Well, let me mention really quick, because I just said SobCon in Chicago, which a lot of people know about, but you're having one in September. I think in Portland you're expanding.
We do one in Chicago that tends to attract really high influence, small business and social media influencers. And now we've started doing one in Portland that attracts smaller startups and online businesses.
So that's going to be a little bigger? Does that sound bigger?
No, both rooms are limited to 144 people in the room.
Wow. So you like to keep things intimate, get more done?
You get it more done. You also, there are three things. If you want to have a room that's all good people and all good ideas, you have to limit the size of the room.
Right.
You have to build a room that attracts the kind of people you want, and you have to control the content in a way that the ideas are all linked so that they build into actionable ideas.
That's cool. Where can people get a hold of you if they're interested in yourself or SobCon?
SobCon is at SOB, like son of a bitch, SOB Events. It really stands for Successful Online Business. I'm on Twitter at Liz Strauss, and my blog is successful-blog.com.
And it is very successful.
It is, yes.
Now you are one of that's why you do what you do, because you are one of the leading bloggists out there in the world, or at least in the nation, probably.
Yeah, we have like 95,000 comments on my blog now.
I know, it's amazing.
It's huge.
Do you ever just kind of look at it and go, "What the heck did I get myself into?"
Well, yeah, and it's also strains any content system it's on, so now it has unique and different problems when I try to redesign it.
Anyway, so you're at Steve Farber's Extreme Leaders Summit. and you're speaking here. What are you going to try to impart on the crowd here?
One, that there are very few things different about building an online community than there is building an offline community. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about a community of the people who help your business thrive. Another is that reaching out to the people who help your business thrive involves understanding your network, building it before you need it, inviting people to help you, as opposed, turning a pitch into an invitation, raising a barn, don't build a coliseum, and celebrating your heroes because they make you better.
Wow, that's a couple of those things I know are extremely important, and now I've got to listen to the rest. So, because there's probably a couple more things I can really learn. Steve Farber's event. This is his first one. It's a great one. He's not selling to the back of the room and all that kind of stuff. It's really full of a lot of meat. Why are you here, and why do you think entrepreneurs should be here?
Well, first of all, the quality of the speakers is outstanding. Farber put together a fabulous event.
Right.
The quality of the people in the room. And it's my experience that people come to an event because of the people in the room, because that validates the content that's going to be given. And particularly business people need two things out of a great event: good information and good contacts, and they've got it here. And there's nobody who understands leadership better than Steve Farber.
Yeah, and I know you don't just speak anywhere. You are picky. Don't have time, but you're picky anyway, I know.
Yeah, well, discriminating.
Discriminating, that's a better way to say it. Liz, it's been a pleasure. It's been hard to get you on camera, by the way, so thank you so much for doing this for me today. This is J.W. Nigerian with Liz Strauss at the Extreme Leadership Summit of Steve Farber's. Thank you so much, Liz.
Delighted.
All right, have a great day.